It's Mo! What are we doing today, Mo?
We're gonna make pomodoro sauce. The famous, infamous pomodoro sauce that Corinne learned in Italy.
Yay.
I can't wait.
Yay.
Yeah.
Welcome back. So I'm here today with Mo. I get lots of requests for you.
Oh.
I know.
No, that feels good.
She's my favorite cooking partner.
Well, I'm thrilled to be here. This is my favorite place to be, in the kitchen with you.
Yay.
Yeah.
Now this is just a really simple tomato sauce, but there's a few caveats. It has to be made with paste or Roma type tomatoes in season. You cannot go to the grocery store, get them from a hot house, and expect the sauce to be good, because it is truly reliant on the quality and the sweetness and the ripeness of summer tomatoes. My girlfriend and I were in Italy, and this is a girl I didn't even know. She said, hey, I'm going to Italy. Do you know anybody that might want to go with me? Me? I've got wrinkled flyer miles. I'll go with you. And so I got to know this girl who's now a friend of mine over the course of this trip. And she was there to eat, but not necessarily interested in cooking at all. And so when you go to Italy with a cook, it's a bad idea. If you're not a cook, don't do it.
They're just going to slow you down.
I totally slowed her down. So we go into this random restaurant, really darling, family owned, and I had an eggplant parmesana that was unlike anything I didn't even know what it was. It was so good. Like, there was no definable eggplant. It was molded in this little like ball, and just this sauce and cheese oozed out when you cut into it. It was amazing. But the tomato sauce is fantastic. So I asked the chef if he would teach me how to make it. And he said, yeah, no problem, tomorrow. So we go back tomorrow. Oh, no, mañana. So we go back the next day. He's like, whatever the word for tomorrow is in Spanish or in Italian. Come back the next day. And so after 2 days, Julie's like,
We got to go.
I'm in this little town for a recipe. I'm like, yeah, just one more day. And anyway, yeah, she got a little upset with me. But we finally got in the kitchen. And what we learned was fabulous, but it was also very disappointing, because it was so simple. It was so ridiculously simple that I'm like, I waited in this town for 3 days for that. You could have just told me. And so here's the sauce. You're not going to make this much sauce unless you're canning it like we're going to. So for every 15 to 20 tomatoes, you use 1 head of garlic and about a bunch of basil. That's about how much comes in a bunch. And then you take 1 glug, slow, languorous glug around the pot of olive oil, maybe like a 1/4 cup, and plenty of sea salt. Salting the tomatoes when they're cooking at the very beginning pulls out all of the extra water. And tomatoes have tons of water in them, and it just helps that cook off and evaporate, because this is a very loose sauce. It's not a thick, stick to the noodles kind of sauce. It's a very loose base, and it's perfect for lasagna, eggplant parmesana. And Glenn and I had it just with some fresh tomatoes tossed with pasta, and it's so yummy.
Yeah, yum.
It is yummy.
It's good to just have that simple basic sauce that you can like add to anything. It's not going to overpower.
No.
It'll allow the other ingredients to shine as well.
Yes, and for pizza, all I do is use this sauce on the pizza and then put down some fresh oregano.
Nice.
So the basic sauce, all you do is basically cut everything up. You don't even need to take these guys off.
What?
You put everything in the pan, cook it for 25 minutes, turn the timer off, let it cool, run it through a food mill. If you don't have a food mill, don't cook it with these little nubs on. And you can run it through the food processor or even a blender. But I think it's more refined to take the seeds and the skins out, and so I have a tomato mill for that. But the beautiful thing about the Italians is a lot of times they'll go out and get a tomato leaf, and they'll actually put a leaf or the branches in the sauce, because you know that smell, it's so tomatoey, and it imparts just a little more flavor.
Wow. When I pick the tomatoes, a lot of tomatoes, I'll get like a powdery residue all over me.
Yeah.
And it's an intense, and it's the most beautiful part of being in the greenhouse with the tomatoes is the smell of that oil or
whatever it is, the magic
essence.
and
Oh, I'm excited. I've never done that. I've just been wowed.
And so we're just going to cut these guys in half. And then we're going to put the basil in whole. We'll take the papers off the garlic, but you don't even need to if you're running it through a food mill. Okay, so we're going to start out with a big bunch of it, but I'll put the ratio for like enough for 4 to 6 below this video.
And then we're going to can it.
We are going to can it.
Where, you know, you don't have to. And we're going to add lemon when we can it, but otherwise,
Straight up.
Yeah.
So the trick with canning this is you want to do it in a water bath canner. But you need, tomatoes have, they're borderline for acidic enough to be canned without a pressure canner. And so we're going to take 1 teaspoon per pint of lemon juice and just put it straight in the jar so we know that every jar is acidified the same. And then we'll go ahead and just proceed and water bath can it from there.
Fun.
So Mo and I were picking these gorgeous tomatoes this morning from her greenhouse, Casa Verde CSA in Hood River, Oregon. And I got some really beautiful footage, so I'm going to put that in here because it's really a magical place. Like, I think my garden's pretty magical. Your greenhouse is like the greenhouse equivalent of my garden. It's just like lush and jungly and all of this beautiful food growing. So Mo picked this, and she gave it to me.
I said, here, take the ugly one. You will love it. As it can.
I think it's so beautiful. Look, I mean, oh, here, we gotta turn this camera on. So here it is, this gorgeous, ruffly little fingered, semi-pollinated. He's got some dog pads. He's a beach walker. A little callus on his butt. So I'm gonna put a poll because we're split, ugly, beautiful, and the poll is going to be up here. Weigh in and vote. What do you think about foods like this? Beautiful or ugly? There is a company I think in France, that they're reclaiming thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of pounds of vegetables every year from farmers that aren't deemed beautiful enough for market. So with food waste and scarcity being such a problem around our country and around our world, so many of these are being tossed and not being loved. So love your uglies.
Love the number 2s.
Yeah.
And the number 3s.
Yeah, and the number 4s.
And the number 4.
I've got some number 4s. Mo got me this morning some nectarines that I'm going to make vinegar out of. So there's always a use for
number 2s, number 3s, number 4s.
all of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For those of you that watched last winter, when I planted garlic with Mo, this is the seed garlic that she gave me. Yeah, it's fun. So these tomatoes are Amish paste, right?
Amish paste. Oh, there's 2 of them. And Sheboygan.
Sheboygan?
Sheboygan.
So which ones are the pinky? Because I see there's
pinky,
a red one and a pinky one.
These ones here that are kind of fatter and more round are the Amish paste, and that's the Sheboygan.
This is Sheboygan.
I wonder what...
you gotta say it with a UP accent.
Is it Sheboygan? It sounds like something that... Oh, wait, it's the Three Stooges. Boink, boink, Sheboygan!
Never watched it.
No?
No.
Oh, come on.
I know. Okay, this one's Amish paste because it's kind of... And then the Sheboygan are these kind of pinky.
Yeah,
They're almost
pinky,
ones.
longer.
Okay. Here's a look on the inside. This one is Sheboygan.
Yeah,
and this one is Amish paste. Oh my gosh, look how meaty and...
Yeah, right,
delicious
because that's
those are.
really all water that...
Yeah. And for paste tomatoes, these are the best tomatoes for sauce because they have less water. And they actually cook up a little thicker.
Okay,
Do you want to taste that?
no.
Mmm.
Yum. Sheboygan's delicious.
It is delicious.
I don't know if the texture is a little mealier, but that's just because it was bigger too. I think if we had gotten it smaller. The Sheboygan's pretty good.
Flavor-wise, I think the Sheboygan wins out.
Huh? Sheboygan!
The key is when the tomatoes are all soft and broken down and their skins are starting to shrivel, then that's when you cut the heat.
My favorite sauce that I ever learned from an Italian, they took a little bit of onion, sauteed it in olive oil for just a few minutes, and then they put in anchovies, like 3 or 4 anchovies, and then a bunch of tomatoes, and just until the tomatoes were pretty much hot, not much more. And then that was it.
Yum.
Oh, God.
Like a puttanesca, but without capers and olives and...
And it was just like, that
Simple.
anchovy just gives it a little umami and the salt.
Those Italians, they're so good.
They're so simple and good.
Well, and that's the difference between a culture that has respect for the raw ingredients and the sun and the soil and how things are grown, and the product, the item, the vegetable stands alone, so you don't really need to do that much with it. And for those of you that don't like garlic, this sauce is completely legit without it too. So, although I can't imagine not liking garlic.
And then the basil just goes in as
Whole
it is?
chunks, yep.
Or should I cut it up a little?
I don't, I just toss it in.
Stems it all?
Yep.
Yep. Just like that little Italian lady. Just like that little Italian lady.
Mo, I can't separate them.
Sheboygan kissing.
Oh, we're full, aren't we?
Yeah.
And that's the last. And that's it. You did it.
We did it.
You did it! So we're gonna wrap up the video. This is what it looks like when we're actually canning.
Where did those fresh girls that started this project go? Where are they?
I don't know. So we have about 60 pounds less tomatoes, and yeah,
Yeah, and then we have sauce all winter long.
which is great.
Yeah, delicious sauce. It's so good. It's so fresh and like simple. Like I'm really simple, not simple, right? As we sit
This
here
is
with
a more
tomato
complicated.
sauce on our knees.
I think we have a gasket failure. I'm blaming it on a gasket. We had a little issue with the tomato mill.
But it's been great. I'm really impressed. I've never done this before, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you
thank
for
you.
growing these wonderful tomatoes. And we also, because we have 40 minutes in between batches, so we're also doing some pesto with the rest of Mo's basil.
Yum.
So in the pesto, My favorite way to do pesto is to just put it in freezer bags and, you know, however much your family would use for a portion for one meal, and then lay them flat, and you can just freeze, you know, 30 of these. And it's my most cherished thing during the winter when I pull it out. I'm like, oh, yum,
Yeah,
fresh pesto.
And it's so impressive. People are like, oh, I'll just whip together a quick little
A
fresh
10-minute
pesto.
pasta. Yeah, it's great. So thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed the tomato. This is the first of probably many tomato videos we'll do because you're way earlier than even my garden.
Yeah. Yeah, tomatoes are not even beginning and just beginning, right?
So leave me a comment and let us know what kind of tomato recipes you'd like to see in the future. Thank you. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next time. See you soon. We love you, Mo.